We have here a Ruger Mark III 22/45. Now I want to make one thing clear, that when I mention certain prices, we are not trying to sell anything. This is a reference to what this thing cost and what its value is today. I'm not trying to sell anything. So, if we look at the box here, I got this from a friend of mine. When he bought this, I don't know. And I don't even know if Mark IIIs are even being manufactured by Ruger anymore. Okay, on the box, there is a price tag, roughly, of $420. Okay, and what we get in the box here, we'll take a look. Lock, spare mag, that's a heavy padlock, spare magazine, and what's this other little, ooh, and it looks like this was made back when they had one of these safety locks. I have to look this up and see what it is. Alright, so put this all back in there. We have the pistol in a case. It was wrapped in plastic. We have one instruction sheet specifically to this gun, and this is a Lite also. We have Ruger's instruction manual that covers several different models, some advertisements, and which was required in some states, I guess, a fired casing from the gun, which in those states where you have to have that on file with the local law enforcement or whatever. That was the thing there. So, and now the gun itself. Comes in a nice padded case, so yeah, for what you paid, you got a padded rug and all the other stuff. It's not a bad deal. Alright. So, the individual purchases a gun, never used it, it's new in the box, wanted to know what it's worth and all this other stuff. And that's neither here nor there, but probably about $320 would be what it would be worth today. So a little bit less, maybe even less. Because right now we're in a slump and the value of guns is dropping. So what do we have here? I'm familiar with earlier Rugers. I've had a couple, Mark IIs maybe. And this one here, it's a nice looking firearm. Okay. Now it's got adjustable sights. It's drilled and tapped up here on the top, so you could probably mount a pick rail to where you can put an optic on this. How old this gun is, I am not quite sure. But like I said, I don't believe Ruger makes Mark IIIs anymore. So I don't know. Alright, so let's take a look at this. The Ruger 22/45, and this is a Lite. Alright. Ruger come up with an idea of putting a 1911 style grip or grip angle on their 22 pistol, their famous 22, the Ruger standard gun. And the Lite means that however this is set up, it's not a solid barrel. I think there's a narrower barrel inside this frame, which gives it a little bit lightweight compared to a solid bull barrel of that size, which would be a much heavier gun. So you have a pretty interesting polymer lower. It's much like a 1911, so if you like that type of a firearm, you know, this is the way to go. Now it has these serrations, which I guess are for making the gun lighter. They're just decorative. You have adjustable sights. Okay, these are not 3-dot, they're dark. Some of them I've seen described as having 3 dots. And it's drilled and tapped on the top of this receiver to put a pick rail so you can go and mount an optic on here. How old this gun is, if they're still in production, I'm not quite sure. And basically on this side you have all your safety and your mag release. So this thing works, you know, just like anything, it'll stay open on the last shot. This is your slide release here. This is your safety, and the gun must be cocked for the safety to work. Slide that up, it will not fire. Down, it will fire. And this is your mag release, much like on a 1911. Other than the early Rugers, which had a European heel style mag release on the older guns. So this is kind of an improvement. This thing here is a loaded chamber indicator. If there was a round in the chamber, this would protrude so you can feel it or see it. And also, we'll make sure we're still cocked. Alright. This gun, Ruger put mag safety, so without the magazine, the pistol will not fire. There we go. Now, people complain about the mag safety, about trigger pull and all this other stuff. And also, I found out, which I didn't know, which pretty much gives the age of this gun, there is a safety lock on this pistol. Now we'll get the little key. Alright, so how the internal lock works, I don't know if you can see it that well, but here's the safety, and there's a little hole right down here which is covered up when the safety is off. And when you turn the safety on, that opens that little tiny hole up to where this can go down and engage a little hex. And they said to turn this clockwise, one and so many turns, and then at that point, when you know the lock is on, the safety will not come down, so the gun will not fire. What it's doing is basically locking the gun into safe, and then you would put it in it. That's weird. It's got a little hollow tip in there. Put it in there, engage it, and they said 1 3/4 turns. Now it goes down, and now the gun will fire. So that was something I did not know Ruger put on their handguns. Said the Mark IVs have a different type of takedown lever. This is more the traditional, where you have to pull this out and then disengage it, pull it down, and all the other fun stuff. And putting this thing back together again is a royal pain. I had to watch 2 or 3 other videos. I may make a disassembly video. I mean, people have condensed it, made it simple, but with me and my bad hand, it's a nightmare. But it can be done. It's a little bit of practice. Another neat thing about this is because everybody was into the, they knew the legislation for suppressors was going to change. This has this big cap on the end here, and it exposes your threads. There's a little kind of a wafer washer underneath there, and they tell you to take these and store them when you have it in there. Now, like I said, this is a thinner barrel with this shroud, which is like the upper receiver. That's how these guns are light. Like if you look at the Mark IVs, they'll have windows in here, and you can see that the barrel is not that heavy of a barrel. Now they say never try to take this locking ring out or off. Don't fool with it. and you can attach a suppressor to your threaded barrel. And it's kind of standard on all of these, you know, in the Mark IVs and that. But that's about it for it. I mean, kind of come across on this, and I tried looking up for my buddy the resale on these. You know, you're looking probably like this. He never fired it. Should be easy to get, you know, at least 3 beans for it. People don't like this disassembly feature because it can be nightmarish and a pain in the ass. But it has all the features. You can mount an optic on it. You can, you know, if now's the time to get a suppressor, you can mount a suppressor on this. It's suppressor ready, and it's all set, ready to go. So there we go, a basic overview of the Ruger 2245 Lite handgun. So hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.